Hulk smashing their way into our hearts. It's Two Nerds and a Joke with Robert and Ernie.
Thank you, Disembodied Hot Girl Voice. This is Two Nerds and a Joke with Robert and Ernie. I'm Ernie.
I'm Robert.
And we're here to talk about trolls.
Internet trolls.
Internet trolls, to be more specific.
Not the trolls from like the movie Trolls, which were cute.
Not Troll Hunter, which is good by Guillermo del Toro. My daughter likes that series on Netflix.
I like the song from the Trolls movie, the one where it's going to be a good day where she's
going yeah.
That's a good song. I can sing along
Trolls,
to that.
a movie which, if you are a follower of our podcast,
yes,
we did do a prediction of what movies were going to bomb.
Yes.
We did pick that one to bomb.
We did. And we were so wrong.
I took my daughter and my parents there, and literally, when I looked around, there were kids dancing.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. You sometimes win some, you sometimes lose. But we try to avoid trolling ourselves too significantly. We do a little on the podcast here and there, but we try not to be unnecessarily brutal about things. We say, like, it's not the greatest. We don't really ever hate on anything. So that's a conversation today, and the point of it is, the question we bring up is, does trolling by either critics, professionals, or by the internet itself ruin what people get to see in the future because people get movies ruined by what people are saying about it rather than just going and, giving their own opinion? Right?
Times are changed.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone looks at their devices.
Yeah.
What is it, 4 or 5 hours out of every day they're on their device?
That's a minimum, yeah. I mean, we're talking huge numbers.
So,
on average, 6 to 8 a day, easily.
So you have people who are totally disconnected from everybody else except for that.
Yes.
And you're taking the advice of like these groups and these people.
Yes.
Rotten Tomatoes, or even your
Facebook groups.
Yeah,
all these
Twitter.
People. Yeah.
So let's go back in time to like when Disney announced that they were buying Lucasfilm, and how wonderful it's going to be to get it away from George Lucas himself.
Which is a weird thing to say.
Right.
It's like, why would you want to get away from George?
But
okay, sure.
So, because at the time the internet was new, what was the first thing that came out on the internet bashing? Prequel bashing. Now,
yes.
I'm not a big fan of the prequels.
There are a lot of things that could have been better about them. I won't argue that. But there are a lot of stories that were nice to have.
My mother has only seen one Star Wars movie.
Okay.
Attack of the Clones, and she loved it.
It's not a bad movie. You kind of mentioned once or twice that it's a little bit all over the place.
It's all over the place.
A lot of stories going on there.
Vader hates sand.
Yeah, well.
But
again, and here's the biggest thing that I love about the whole thing is, and this goes to the new Star Wars movies too, is Luke and Luke's lineage, the Skywalker line of men specifically, not the women, because Leia was a badass. Okay, gonna go with that. Cool. And of course, we know that Rey's somewhere related, but we don't know. No, you don't know. But Luke and his lineage are whiny bitches. Okay, to use the word, they're bitches. They're all whiny little turds. They always have been. So to say in the new movies that why is he so whiny? He's always been whiny. Why does he not want to commit? Because he's a whiny little bitch girl.
Anakin was emo.
He was emo.
He was the first emo. Like that's it. That's when all the memes started exploding.
That's his lineage.
And that's how he fell to the dark side, was because he was so emo.
Yeah. So if Luke didn't have no clue as to what he was doing, he could have gone emo too.
So
he had a sister though.
Disney promised us
to kiss her. So
Disney promised us a Star Wars movie every year.
And they fulfilled for a while.
Ad nauseum.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, please, 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 please. And there was a certain group, we want to call them trolls, that were like, anything's better than what George Lucas could have done. Which kind of forced George Lucas into a bad spot.
Yeah, because he's like, what the hell, guys? You didn't like anything I've done?
Dude, when he released Red Tails, which was a good movie about the Tuskegee Airmen. Now, mind you, it had already been done before.
Yeah.
But he did a better version of it. Everyone hated that movie. And that was like his passion project. And I think that's the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
He was like, you know what? Forget all you guys. I have enough money.
Yeah.
Disney just gave me billions of dollars to take this nonsense off my plate because I can't get it right according to you internet guys.
Mm-hmm.
Let them have the headache, right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to make movies for myself.
Why not?
So he has his own place on Skywalker Ranch where he makes movies that only he and his family will ever see. Good for him. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, because at some point, and people forget you're trolling, but you know what? This gets back to the people who created it and are involved in these movies, and it hurts.
Anything he said was so blown up. I think he said something about the holiday special. If he had a hammer, he would go out and find every copy of that VHS and smash it with a hammer.
I don't blame him, though. It was pretty awful.
It's unwatchable, except
yes,
for Boba Fett.
yeah, of course.
It gave us Boba Fett.
It did, and I can't argue that point.
So you get Disney, right? The internet trolls are loving this, right? Disney's taking over Star Wars.
They're very hopeful.
Also, because thanks to Johnny Depp in those pirate movies, they had enough cash left over. Let's pick up Marvel while we're at it.
Oh, sure. And, and then Johnny Depp is like, oh, well, he did something bad, maybe, perhaps, we think. So let's drop his ass.
Well, he was also going to get $90 million had they made another movie.
He's going to make
So they're going to drop him.
He's going to make $6 million for them.
It's the way
60
Disney
million,
structures
150 million.
these things.
You know you're going to make your money back off him.
They
no
would
Pirates
rather
without Johnny Depp.
They would rather not pay one dude $90 million
Ridiculousness.
and give the $90 million to themselves.
Yeah, of course.
That's the way it
Ridiculous.
works. That's the way
awful.
movies work.
Awful.
So the internet
Star Wars.
trolls.
Yes.
Star Wars is in production. They
Yes.
bring in J.J. Abrams. Oh, that's great. He brought
knows
us Star
how to-
Trek.
yeah.
You know what my problem with Star Trek was?
It's not Star
The
Trek.
reboot?
It's not Star Trek enough. Now Quentin Tarantino's doing the latest one.
Which he said he would do it justice.
But make it really, really bloody.
But it will be more action than we're used to.
Which is fine. I like the new Star Trek because it's not the classic Star Trek, but it tells you why it's
2,
not the
4,
classic.
and 6 are still the best movies.
Except I like the whale.
Wrath of Khan.
I like the whale. I like the
The
whales.
4 is the most non-Star Trek.
Star Trek. But I enjoy it.
And then
It's
there's 6,
fun.
The Undiscovered Country.
Yeah, which is a good one. Yeah.
2, 4, and 6.
What about Next Gen?
Those were hard for me to watch on the big screen. They're more of a small screen watch.
Yeah, I hear you. No, they were good.
Nothing against it. They were enjoyable movies.
But they weren't. I don't know.
They didn't grab me.
No, not in the same way, unfortunately.
No.
But so JJ
comes on board because he just
Wait,
did
what
the
was
Star
your
Trek.
problem? Yeah, what was your problem with Star Trek?
The Star Treks were good, but didn't it feel like they were just the actors were playing the original actors? Like Carl Urban was a great Bones, but wasn't he just being DeForest Kelly? Wasn't he just trying to act like DeForest Kelly the whole movie?
Isn't that what you want, though?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I guess.
Chris Pine,
He did it.
he was doing his best Bill Shatner.
Yeah. He's not Bill.
Zachary Quinto was doing his best Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, I mean,
He wasn't doing Spock.
No.
He was doing Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
That was my problem with the Star Trek.
It's a
And of
subtlety,
course,
okay.
and this is, and I'm
The
not
ship?
in an intro about this. The fact that they picked Beastie Boys as being like the music
It's classic.
of
It's
Star Trek is
which is so weird to me because
It's
Next
weird.
Gen is all real classical music.
that stands up to
Yeah.
the test of time.
Yeah.
The original Star Trek, you never
Beastie
really.
Boys is not going to stand up to the test of
No.
time. There's no
I
way.
don't-
It's not bad music, don't get me wrong.
No, I would
but-
jam out to it.
Oh, yeah.
Sabotage?
Yeah.
You're driving a 67 Corvette off a cliff?
Oh, yeah. If you're going to kill yourself, why not? I mean, you know.
Sabotage. So, so they brought him on. They're like, "Oh, okay, this is going to be great." And
Yeah.
then, like, you
We've got all the pieces.
little teases, right?
Yeah.
We had that 30-second teaser.
Those are so good.
Kylo Ren walking through the forest, and you saw the lightsaber come out, and the two others.
Oh, your mind was blown. I'm sorry.
BB-8 rolling across the desert,
And you were like, "Oh my god, that's so cute!"
and then
And they built the real robot. It's not like it's CGI. It's
No.
a real freaking thing.
and that was his whole thing.
You can buy
it's
him for $100.
Here's the thing that was real crappy. He
Yeah.
took a shot at Lucas again with that, saying he's only doing practical effects because that's what he
The
felt.
prequels.
The prequels.
And I can't argue. There was a lot of practical effects in the
There
prequels.
was a lot
There
of
was.
walking
Yeah.
in the prequels
Yeah, but there were a lot of CGI effects. And you could
because
tell
they're
there was
walking
CGI.
on treadmills in front of green screens.
Yeah, and people were offended by that a little bit because of the classical nature of the practical effects. And I can't argue that. And these movies
But
look
George-
better than the prequels. They do. They just do because they're not CGI to death.
But George was like, "Look, I have this vision, and I can't afford to create a practical view of this."
Right, not the time frame he was doing it. And I
Right.
can understand that for some of it, and I get it. But Disney can do it. But
Well, they
Disney has the money to do it.
They have the deep pockets. All they have to
Yeah.
do is just raise the annual passes again, like they do every year.
I want to
Basically
go back,
priced
but I
me
can't.
out of it.
Oh, they priced me out. Oh my god, I want to go, but it's like I can't. No, it's like a mortgage.
Yeah.
It's a mortgage payment for
Mortgage.
God's sake.
So, we get to this point where they start leaking this out, and then San Diego Comic-Con totally ruined it for me because they showed the trailer in Hall H.
The big hall.
That's
the main hall, yeah.
And at the end of it, it was the Chewie, we're home. Place explodes. I'm crying. All right. I could not believe that they brought back Harrison Ford and Chewbacca. Now we all know it wasn't Peter Mayhew in the costume.
No, but the guy who did it spent a lot of time with Peter Mayhew and got it right and did wonderful.
Oh my God,
it was awful. It was an amazing thing to see.
It was like, here's all of my monies.
Yes,
I think I saw that movie, no lie, 4 times
in theaters.
Yeah.
Okay. And how many times out? Every chance you get.
I can't.
Yeah.
I lost count.
It's a great. It's the balance that we wanted between the classical characters and new ones. It's a changing of the guard.
Good movie. Like,
It was
I
a
literally,
great movie.
at the end of that movie, I was like, it's over?
Oh, my daughter hated the ending.
It's
like,
over?
We always yell at the screen at that last scene.
It's over? That's how I can't believe it's over. I gotta watch this again.
But that last scene, I mean, I'm guaranteeing you, any true Star Wars fan is like, say something! Oh my God! And then the next movie came out.
Luke is standing there for 15 seconds in complete silence.
It's amazing. It's the best piece of film I've seen at that moment because of all the history.
Up until that moment, I think that was the best 90 seconds of cinema.
Yeah.
There's another movie, however, that we're going to talk about.
Yes.
That I think has the best 90 seconds of cinema ever.
Which also got trolled very heavily.
Which got trolled heavily.
Yes. So then the next movie comes out.
Rogue One.
Rogue One.
Rogue One apparently was like, and I told you this, I didn't want to look at the internet.
Right.
Because I looked at the internet for everything about The Force Awakens.
And it's a very good thing that you didn't, because if you watch the trailers, which was a big irritation for me, none of that was used. None of it. So what? It's a completely
different... The TIE Fighter.
No, nothing.
I Rebel.
Yeah. No.
Nothing.
Nothing. What the hell? You're just screwing with us now just because you can.
At the same time, everyone was trolling.
Oh, yeah.
Force Awakens.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're just rehashing the old stories. And I'm like, yes, give me more of the old stories.
Yeah, that's what we want.
That's what I want.
Shut up.
You're
introducing new. You're getting rid of old. You're changing something.
The prequels were, hey, you like Han Solo, you like the Millennium Falcon, you like X-wings, you like all that stuff. Well, guess what? None of these stories have it.
None of it. It's all politics. Again, it was a story that I enjoyed in part. There were certain parts of the prequels that I did enjoy. They're not the best movies ever, but they had some stories in them that I do like to tell.
How funny.
The third
segue.
one.
What's on the interwebs now? Ewan McGregor saying that people are now coming up to him saying that they appreciate the prequels. Thank you, internet trolls.
Yeah, really? Seriously, guys?
Now you guys are going to do a 180, and now we're going to hear about
how awesome they were.
How awesome they were.
We've been saying it all along. We've been on the air for 2 years and we've been saying, oh, prequels aren't that bad.
So...
Could be a little less Jar Jar Binksy, but you know.
Yeah, Rogue One comes out, right,
Yes.
in the special viewing.
Yeah.
Apparently everyone said this is the most disjointed movie ever created. Some people didn't even finish it, apparently. I know 2 people who couldn't finish it.
Really?
Yeah, who watched it who couldn't finish it.
That's crazy.
I know. I'm like, really? It's...
Not that... Again, what the hell?
So supposedly, like, Rian Johnson, who was the guy who did Godzilla, was the original director.
Okay.
He released his cut, and Disney hated it, brought another director, and spliced out, like, half of the movie.
Which is partially why those scenes that we see in the trailers aren't in the movie.
Right.
Which, whatever, fine.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So, I'm watching this movie, and I'm like, wait a minute. This is more wars than any of the Star Wars movies.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the Magnificent Seven.
Yeah. It's feet on the ground.
Yeah.
Front lines.
This is like, look, the rebellion was built off of death.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people were giving their lives
for
this ideal of let's topple this empire.
Yeah.
For the sake of, like, all the greater good. I'm willing to sacrifice my life for this.
Yeah, that's the point of the whole movie.
Oh my gosh. Everyone dies.
Spoiler alert.
If you haven't seen it, shame on you.
Yeah, shame on you. Nobody gets saved.
Nobody.
How often does that happen in a movie? Like, really? How
all
often?
the main characters.
Everybody.
They give
even people you enjoyed.
Even the nice gay couple in that movie.
Yeah.
They're dead.
All of them.
Dead.
Wait, where's the gay couple?
The blind guy and the...
Really? They're not a couple? Really?
I heard through the interwebs, this is all rumors, that that the next movie is supposed to be them,
which everybody will see.
Which everyone will see.
They are a good duo. I don't
the Guardian
think
of the Wills.
Yeah.
And supposedly there's
which
like
is a novel too.
overtones of them being in a relationship.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's an amazing duo. I would watch the hell out of that.
Because everyone was like watching this. Now I didn't see it that way.
No, I didn't see it that way at all. I thought it was just two guys.
I thought they were just two guys.
Yeah, they're like us. There's overtones, but nobody's ever going to say anything.
What? No. No.
We're both straight. It's okay.
These two guys apparently have seen way too much, right?
Yeah.
And they've seen their whole way of life changing. The only thing they have is each other.
Right.
So they're like the coolest of cool, bestest of friends.
Yeah.
They have each other's back.
That's it.
That's the way I saw it.
Yeah.
Everyone else saw these guys are romantically involved.
Yeah, of course, because the internet trolls are
The internet trolls are like that.
And it's like, what? Come
So
on, guys.
you have the best 90 seconds of cinema in that movie.
Yeah.
Which is Darth Vader
Going ham.
boarding that ship, man, in that hallway.
Yeah. And they'll troll that. They trolled that too.
They trolled it too because they're like, "Oh, that's not the Darth Vader I know." I'm like, "What's the Darth Vader you know?"
Yeah. Is there a different one? No, and they also troll that he let the tape go on purpose.
Yes.
That's the other big troll.
They let him. They
he
let
let
him
it go
escape
on purpose because he was trying to defeat the Empire, so he knew all along. What?
Yeah.
No, he was going ham. There were just too many of them and not enough of him.
I'm like people who said that's not Vader in that hallway. I'm like, I hate to disappoint you.
Yeah.
Number 3, episode 3.
Yeah.
Badass.
Oh, that was good.
Badass fight scenes in that.
He
went toe to toe with the greatest Jedi of all time in Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And almost won a few times. He had him dead to rights.
He did. That was the best fight scene, lightsaber fight scene, besides
Maul and Qui-Gon.
Maul and Qui-Gon.
Maul and Qui-Gon, Maul and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Because Obi-Wan dispatches Darth Maul quick.
In 2 seconds, which is a fantastic scene too. Those are some of the best Star Wars lightsaber fight scenes you'll ever see.
Everyone holds on to the original 3, and I'm like, did you watch the original 3? They were slow. They were predictable.
Yeah.
Especially the first one with Alec Guinness. Now, granted, Alec Guinness must have been like 80 years old when he did that flick.
Yeah.
So it was like two old men like hacking at each other.
Yeah. Because you have to remember, Darth Vader is old at that time.
Yeah.
His son's an adult. He's not well. He's never been well.
And then in Empire Strikes Back, he really takes the fight to Luke.
Yeah.
But that's because Luke hasn't been trained.
Yeah. And if Luke had been trained, Luke probably would have kicked his ass.
Probably would have, yeah.
Yeah. So you got to consider that. Besides the point, lots of trolling going on. Rogue One was a very unique movie.
Yeah.
A very unique movie.
It said, you know what? It's a Star Wars story.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I've seen internet clips of people watching the ending of that movie. Because apparently the ending wasn't part of the original Rian Johnson vision.
Mm-hmm.
That was the other people who came in to fix it. So you have Princess Leia there getting the plans.
Oh.
Do waterworks. People were busted out crying seeing that scene.
I mean, it chokes me up. It's like, it fits in beautifully with the first Star Wars movies everybody's ever seen.
I saw a girl...
It's the next moment.
I saw a girl lose her mind on the internet watching the last 90 seconds of that movie. The Vader hallway scene, and when the tape gets into her hands...
Yeah. And she says the line...
Yes.
Mind blown.
Yes, hope.
Yes.
You stop watching there, you put in episode 4, or whatever you want to call it. I call it Star Wars. Because still, to me, there's only one Star Wars.
There is still Star Wars.
You put in Star Wars, and you watch it from there, and you get an idea of, all right, now it makes sense.
Yeah. He's filling in the gaps. These are the stories he always wanted to tell.
How did they get the plans?
Yeah.
They keep saying how many people lost their lives. How many people really did lose their life?
Yeah.
Almost the entire rebellion they lost the fleet almost.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
So, again, trolling all over the place for that. And then you move into...
Episode 8.
Yes.
The Last Jedi.
And
let me tell you how much press that movie got.
And how much hatred.
Because
I think it's the most... Would you say it's the most hated?
The director says, look, I don't care what you guys want.
Yeah.
This is my vision.
Yeah.
I'm writing this.
I think the only thing hated worse is Jar Jar Binks. And I think even in comparison, Jar Jar Binks is now deeply beloved.
People want him back now for whatever God knows reason.
Oh, God knows.
They want him in episode 9.
Give us more Warwick Davis, but...
So, episode 8's coming out. I see it on the cover of Entertainment Weekly, and all it is just like, we're concerned about all this reshooting and Kathleen Kennedy stepping into all this. And apparently Rogue One, while it did well, it didn't go over well with the critics. At the same time, they're also pumping out these Marvel movies.
Yes, so you have a lot of stiff competition.
All right.
And Marvel's getting no trolls. No, everybody's just... what was the term you use?
They're smelling the Marvel fart.
Yeah, they smell the Marvel fart. And again, I get it. And they were really well done for the most part. There were a couple of flops in there.
But they're all the same story.
They're all...
Get the glowy scene.
Yeah, the other thing.
Let's
the
get the glowy
stories
thing.
are good. The graphics are good. The stories are solid, and they're what people want to see. Fine, whatever. But they're fluff films. I mean, I'm a Marvel fan. Don't get me wrong, but they're fluff films.
Ant-Man's a bank heist.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier, which I think is one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Political thriller.
Yeah.
Iron Man is still to be the standard.
Yeah. Even though it's not the first Avenger and Captain America is called the first Avenger, he's the first Avenger.
Yeah.
Iron Man's it. Robert Downey Jr. made that character.
And they're going to cut him off too because he's supposed to make $45 million.
They're probably going to cut all of them off. Yeah, they're all going to be gone.
Chris Hemsworth's supposed to make $60 million. They're cutting him off.
Yeah.
So. The Thor, the first Thor, I was like, okay, it's Thor.
But in Infinity
the second
War?
one was like the Dark World. I think I fell asleep.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
And then the third one. The third one is the one that got me because that was spoofing all these hero movies. He was poking fun at them all.
Yes, he was. It was great. And in Infinity War, that's Thor. That's Thor.
That's Thor.
That's what you want. That's what you want from Thor.
He's supposed to be the strongest Avenger.
Yeah.
He's a god.
Yeah.
He's the god of
thunder,
living lightning and thunder.
Yeah. So, anyway, trolling continues.
Trolling still continues.
Marvel's getting all the love, and then poor little in episode 8, people are just pooping all over it.
Wow.
And then it comes out.
Oh, before it came out,
Before, the preview.
The preview crowd destroyed it. Like, essentially put it like a single digit on the freshness meter on the Rotten Tomatoes, which I'll never understand, and please don't come after us. Apparently it's like a group of like critics that all are a part of Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't know. Contract killers of movies, that's what I call them.
They go into the movie wanting to pick it apart.
Yeah. Which I get if you want to,
I don't know if that's what a critic does.
I mean, I don't mind taking apart a movie and looking at the pieces of it. We've done that. But we're not going to compare it to movies that are 50 years old and say, well, this is a piece of shit compared to some movie that nobody's seen before. I mean,
like if somebody said, like they did the same thing with Man of Steel.
Yeah. Which was a solid movie. I still watch it.
Man of Steel basically set up all these other shows.
We're going to get to the Superman
we'll get
drama in a minute. But so your episode 8 comes out, and the biggest complaint that you saw was what? I saw everything was how awful Luke was. That's not my style.
That's not the Luke.
So you saw that too. That was
saw
pretty
that.
much it.
Luke would never do this. Oh, Mark Hamill was on a talk show and he said that he wouldn't have done this with this character. I'm like, you can't win now.
No, you can't.
Now you can't win.
But the thing is he was Luke. He was the same Luke that we saw who didn't know what the hell he was doing on a waterfront and wanted to go play with his friends and almost put a lightsaber in his eye.
He looked down the business end of a lightsaber.
And this is the guy.
Ben gave him the lightsaber. This is your father's lightsaber. First thing he does is look down the business end of it.
I mean, come on, guys. And the thing is, it's great too because it's always Yoda. It comes back to Yoda. And Yoda's like, "What? Get your head out of your ass." He's been saying that to Luke since he was knee-high to Grasshopper.
Yeah.
He's like, "Don't go in the cave." Luke goes in the cave.
Don't take off early. He takes off early.
Everything he tells him, Yoda tries to get ahead of the game, and Luke is just ignoring him the entire way.
Yeah.
And barely survives.
Barely.
And
I think he gets by with luck.
Pure luck?
I want to say luck.
It's pure luck. There's nothing Luke does in any other Star Wars movies.
I mean, you think about it. If it's not for Han Solo in the first movie, he doesn't make the shot to destroy the Death Star.
Yeah. Okay. It's true. He came back and saved his ass.
In the second movie, he's going to freeze to death on Hoth. Han saves him again.
Yep. This is true. 2 times in a row.
Gets his hand lopped off. He's hanging upside down. Princess Leia saves him.
Yep.
Or Leia. Leia saves him.
Yes.
And
did you know that was a big thing on set?
No.
That Luke was like, Mark Hamill was like with Princess Leia when they were talking to each other. She was like, "You are not royalty. I'm royalty."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
that
I'm
must
a
be,
real princess.
Yeah.
You're not.
So
a prince.
if she's a princess and we're brother and sister, that must make me royalty. And she's like, no, you are not.
Which is true.
Which is true.
Because their mother, Princess Amidala, was not sovereign by birthright. She was sovereign by election.
Which was weird.
Which is kind of a weird
Thank you,
thing.
George Lucas.
Yeah, thanks, George. And Leia's was the daughter, adopted or not, of a princess, of a queen. She was a princess. Luke was a water farmer.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not royalty, sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, the internet wins again on that one.
So yeah.
Luke isn't Luke.
So Luke is not Luke. All these other
Which he
characters are shells of their former selves, right?
They're old, of course they're shells. I did like, and they complained about Leia.
They complained about Leia's role in this, about the Mary Poppins scene.
Which, again, if people watched Star Wars, like really were fans, and they watched Rebels, it's been done before. That is a force power. That is a legit canon force power that you can do that. Can't do it for a long distance.
Survive
but you can
space.
Yeah.
Survive the vacuum of space.
You can, for a short period of time. You can use the force to do that.
And we have to remember, this is 20 years after Return of the Jedi.
You don't think she got some training?
You don't think Luke kind of
Really?
told her a couple secrets?
You think? I mean, hell, they can overcome
Considering
death, for God's sake.
That her son eventually became Kylo Ren?
Yeah. Come on. Seriously, people? But anyways, oh, and of course, don't forget the ultimate troll. They need fuel? Yeah. Hello. They've mentioned that since the beginning. Everything runs on fuel. You're in space. You still need some sort of fuel.
So you have, spoiler,
Like
if
half
anyone
the
who hasn't
movies,
seen it.
Solo's about fuel. Like all the movies are about fuel in some respect.
The rebellion needs, like, the essentials to
Yeah.
survive.
Shocking, I know.
Because you gotta
Food,
remember,
water, fuel.
you still have the First Order is trying to implement the Empire again.
Yeah, basically.
So they have a stranglehold on all the good technology
Yep.
and all the resources.
Yep. And they destroy
The Senate.
The Senate. They destroy everything.
They destroy everything with
Yeah.
the Starkiller base.
Yeah, which again, I loved Han Solo's line of
They always got a way to destroy these things.
It's great. It's a great line. And then again, they're not original, but empires usually aren't original.
No.
It's just, you know,
They're just like, hey, look, this would have worked had it been a million times bigger.
Yeah. And what I would be interested in the story of is how the background of Kylo Ren, how he got to be a part of
The Knights of Ren?
Yeah. And how the First Order came to be.
Well,
that would be an interesting story.
That's what I'm hoping they would have covered in this installment, but they didn't.
No. I
I'm
would have
thinking they
enjoyed that
probably
story.
would have done an offshoot of it.
Maybe that's
made
coming.
its own movie.
Maybe they do the Knights of Ren. I would
Knights
watch
of
the
Ren.
hell of it. I would watch that. Right?
Not to be confused with Ren and Stimpy.
No, different
Knights
types
of Ren.
Jedi.
It's-
Yes, this Lords. So 8, Fuel, Luke, Leia, everything. They're trolling.
They trolled every scene, even the Porgs. Oh, you know why they did Porgs? It was because of those birds that lived on that island they were shooting on. I don't care, dude.
They're cute. Who cares?
care. My daughter loved them.
Okay, it was kind of gross when he's milking the thing. That was a little gross.
They were like, yeah, that's not necessary. I'm like, let's see where it goes. And what he was trying to do was he was trying to get Rey off his tail by doing gross and weird stuff.
Yeah, and dangerous things. And,
Yeah, he was like, all right, you can hang out. This is what I'm gonna do. You like it now, huh?
And
He
he's
lets it
looking
all
right,
go
yeah,
down
he's
his
looking
beard.
right at her. He's
He's
being
like,
an ass.
look at what a slob I am. This is your hero.
Yeah, a lot of self-loathing.
Yeah, he basically was saying, I'm no hero. Go away.
Yeah,
And you see the...
which kind of reminds you a little bit of Yoda.
Yeah. Yoda
You know?
didn't want to be involved either. That's
Yeah.
why he hung out on the Swamp Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the orange snake.
Yeah, that never existed.
That never existed. That's a toy joke. He was given an orange snake as a toy.
Yes, he was. This is true. So you got that trolling there.
Yes.
So that's your Star Wars trolls. I mean,
so then
crazy.
they're like, so then Disney's like, hey, do you like these movies? We're all like, yes, we want more. Well, we want to do like little individual movies about your favorite characters. We're like, give us Boba Fett. All right, we'll give you Boba Fett. Give us young Yoda. All right, we'll give you young Yoda.
Which would be a kind of weird one, but I'm okay with it.
And then they were like, who else do you want? And they started naming all these different characters, right?
Sure.
Young Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Which
Ewan McGregor's like sitting in Scotland, like just waiting by the phone, waiting for that phone call.
Ewan McGregor is Obi-Wan. He really is him.
Because Alec is gone.
Yeah,
Sir
unfortunately,
Alec,
yeah, Sir Alec, and he did a great old Obi-Wan, but
His whole career, Academy Award winner,
Yeah.
played all these iconic roles.
and that's what he's known for.
He
He's
made
Obi.
all the movies that he ever did, all the jobs he ever did his entire life did not even equal to what he got for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah. It's a great
That's
character.
amazing.
It's a great story. It's a great story. Great character. And we want that.
And we want that.
And that's still,
and guess what they said?
Hmm.
Great, we heard all your responses. We're giving you a movie. What is it? Solo. What? We're going to give you a young Han Solo. What? So, you're going to tell us how he got the Millennium Falcon, how he meets Chewbacca, and how he meets Lando? Yes. We already know how he meets them all. We're going to give it to you anyways.
Yeah, we're going to do it.
And we're going to get these guys who did the Lego movie to do it. All right, so it's going to be funny. All right, change of pace.
Okay. A little bit of a comedy. If they went with the pure kind of comedic heist type
Like, or even they
Comedy.
could have done a 48 hours. Like you have the two
buddy
yeah.
things. They could have done that
They
too.
could have done that.
That was there. Him and Chewie roaming the interview. You know.
Chewie being the straight-laced, we got to do this, and Han being the loose cannon.
Yeah, which kind of ended up being the thing to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Certain extent.
Yeah,
Uh,
but apparently, the trolls got into it, and they started leaking out stuff. Dissension in the camp. Disney doesn't like what they're seeing.
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy may lose her job for this. Kathleen Kennedy puts in her resignation.
Yep.
They're like, oh, we were right. This is all happening. They're bringing in Ron Howard, which opened up to all the internet memes. Help me, Obi-Wan. Internet.
Which was funny, but it's like, really,
Internet.
guys, come on.
Obi-Wan.
And you're showing people's careers over this. I mean...
So they're like, those other two guys are gone.
Yeah.
They bring in Ron Howard, which is no slouch.
No, he's a good. You don't. I don't think of Ron Howard really anymore as sci-fi fantasy dude. But
Even
it is
though
where
he
you gotta
did
start.
Willow.
Yeah, that's where you got to start. Was really back in the day when he was young. That's where you got to start.
He was taking all these adventurous
Didn't he
projects.
do Princess Bride? Was that Ron Howard? Film?
No, that wasn't Ron.
Who was that?
That was somebody else.
Okay, I thought that was Ron too. But he did all these sci-fi fantasies back in the day, so he did start there. He went kind of this war direction and
Yeah, he started
kind of
doing
odd.
period pieces.
Which
He
wasn't
did-
bad, but just the very
He
different
just
direction.
hooked on to Tom Hanks, and they did a bunch of movies.
Yeah, which is no
Fine.
Yeah.
Hey, they were watching
Tom
movies.
Hanks. Yeah.
My thing was they brought in Woody Harrelson in the movie, which kind of stole the movie.
Yeah. I was surprised by him
And
too.
I was like-
he's become a very versatile actor.
I was
Back in
like-
the day he was not very good, but he's
I kind
really
of liked
matured.
him to be Han
Yeah.
Solo.
He would have been an interesting
I
Han
was
Solo,
like-
yeah.
I'm like, I wish he was Han Solo.
The good part. There's so many good parts in that movie, even though it's, again, as you said, is it a story that needed to be told? Not really.
We all knew it.
We all knew it, and it was somebody mentioned to me a couple times, it's a Wikipedia entry. You know exactly what's going to happen. Now you've seen it happen. Okay, fine. It was also poorly timed just when it was released, unfortunately. Was it a bad movie? No. It was a well-done little story. Nothing dramatic, nothing exciting, and most importantly, according to the trolls anyways, not what we wanted to see.
because
Not the story we wanted. We wanted somebody else. We wanted Obi-Wan. What is he doing in the desert for 20 years? Whatever it
he
was.
didn't even change his name.
No.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. I know an old Ben Kenobi. Is that really a stretch there? That they're not the same dude?
It's like, seriously, guys? Whatever.
That's how he invaded the Empire, by
Yeah.
just changing his name to Old Ben.
And the funny thing is, he's on the same planet that
Yeah.
everybody's from.
It's
I'm
like,
why?
he didn't even change Luke's last name
No.
from
I was
Skywalker.
like, seriously, guys, what the hell? Anywho. So, you get that. You get that meaning. And it sets up a precedent, and again, this all kind of happens around the same time, but it sets up a precedent of cruel trolling.
Oh, man, they were brutal.
They were brutal.
They were coming up with stuff like people were walking out of Solo.
Yeah.
Don't waste your money.
And it was all
people
lies.
are getting fired.
It's all lies.
And I'm like, and the first time I went to go see it, I'm like, all right, it's a good movie.
Yeah, there's nothing to walk out on. I mean, what are you walking out on?
I'm trying to remember the last time I walked out on a movie. Eyes Wide Shut.
That's a hard one. I walked out on some movie. I can't remember what it was though.
Tom Cruise, Eyes Wide Shut. Unwatchable.
So then they turned their eyes. They turned their gaze,
Yes.
like the Sauron eye. They turned
The
their
eye of Sauron.
iris on. They turned it and said, "Let's because we love the farts of Marvel." To quote you, we're gonna turn our eye
This other
way.
way.
And guess who they have all in common? Directors.
They're all swapping directors.
They're all swapping directors. That's the common thing here. People are losing their jobs over this nonsense, and now they look And it started with Superman,
So Joss,
Man of Steel, right?
yeah, Joss
again.
Joss Whedon, who just gave them Avengers.
Yeah.
Avengers 1 and 2.
Yeah. So you think he's going to do well, right?
Gets into some sort of dysfunctional thing because of the internet, right?
Of course. Again.
He leaves and goes to DC.
Which is like, okay, he's going to go to DC, and DC's going to treat him right.
DC
That's the
says,
hope.
you have experience with team movies.
Yeah.
We saw what you did with Avengers.
Yeah.
Give us an Avengers. Well, you guys already have an Avengers going on. It's Justice League.
Yeah.
Let Zack finish it.
Yeah.
No. The
You do
internet hates Zack.
Which is ridiculous. But
Which
whatever.
was true, though.
It was true. I
It
don't
was
know.
true.
Wait, true. I don't know.
Whatever he did from
He pissed
Man of
someone
Steel,
off. Yeah, which is a good movie. Solid Superman, very watchable.
and he said the next one, and he was like, what do you guys want to see? We're like, Man of Steel 2. Give us Man of Steel 2. We want to see how he becomes Superman.
Yeah.
Great. I'm giving you Batman versus Superman.
That's not Superman 2, is it?
What?
Really? Is that? What?
What? And then after that, you're going to give us Man of Steel 2, right? I'm going to give you Justice League.
What?
What?
Where are you going, dude? You're jumping, and the thing is, and it sucks, because at the core of all of this, it's a catch-up money grab game, unfortunately. That's
Warner
what
Brothers was on him like ugly on him.
Yeah, it was awful. And it's like, you guys don't need to keep up with Marvel. If you rush this, you're going to ruin this.
I don't know if it was the
Awful.
Schumacher movies that did this,
I
where they
don't
were
know.
pumping out the Batman movies
Yeah.
every 2 years.
But that's one character, one story. It's easier.
Zack had a 5-movie plan, and I thought it would have come out great. I kept saying this looks a lot like Injustice.
Which would have been
And
spectacular.
he said it's not Injustice.
And we were disappointed.
And we were disappointed.
Because he didn't go Injustice. Okay, fine, then give us something good, and he just kind of half-assed it.
Infinite Crisis?
Something good. Another good story.
No. Lantern Corps?
Which would have... I mean, people want... That's one thing people want. People want
Death
Green
of the
Lantern to
Family?
come
The Death of Superman? Give us something.
give us the live-action version of that. Plus, don't give us just the death. Give us the death and the rain.
Rock of Ages?
Something.
Anything.
Give us...
right?
They're there. They're in comic form. Just pick up a graphic novel and start reading.
He got busted when he did Watchmen, when he did a shot-for-shot Watchmen. And everyone pooped on that.
Which is like, it's the graphic novel. It's one of my personal underrated...
Which, apparently,
favorite-
everyone hated so much that now they want Rorschach.
Yeah, they're making a Rorschach.
They're making a Rorschach.
That's how much they hated it.
Zack Snyder's
Ridiculous.
version of Rorschach they want back.
It was a good character. I love
300, which was a graphic novel.
Rorschach. Yeah?
They hated it so much that they came out with a part 2. I don't know. That was a joke for a long time. It was like up there with Titanic Part 2,
Yeah.
300 Part 2. How do you make sequels? Gladiator Part 2. How do you make sequels? They're making a Gladiator Part 2. They made a 300 Part 2.
Well, yeah, but if you read a history book...
No.
I
300
understand, but it's not-
was a story of finality.
Yes.
Those 300 are not coming back.
They weren't, yes. They changed the name. It was 300
A Birth of an Empire.
Birth of an Empire. So it's under the same graphic novel, but it is technically the second part of that war.
But what made
there was a second
that
part.
movie was that you knew all those cats were dead. At the end
Oh,
of that movie,
yeah.
And you just wanted to see how they were going to do it.
Yeah, the second movie was a money grab. It wasn't a bad movie.
Plus, you had a young Magneto in it.
Oh, yeah. That was good. Yeah. But no, I will tell you this, though. The second movie wasn't bad. The Rise of Empire. It was fine.
It's
It wasn't
hard.
great.
It's hard.
It's a long movie.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of horses on boats, which I didn't quite get that.
You have the dude,
It's a naval battle, and I got that, and those battles were
Yes.
pretty realistic to the time. But I don't think there were horses on boats. I really don't believe. I can't believe that.
I don't know, man.
And there's a lot of things wrong with that. But
So-
money grab, but whatever.
So everyone's hating the Snyder version. They're saying it's too dark.
You know, which is like,
and they need
it's
more
DC.
humor. They look at Marvel and they're like, Marvel's funny. I'm like, but I
No,
don't want...
not funny. This
funny.
is DC.
Like, Batman's not a funny guy.
No, except for the Killing Joke.
Except for the Killing Joke,
Yeah.
which at the end,
He does laugh.
he does laugh, but
Yeah.
it's a scary laugh.
Yeah, it's like, no, don't do that ever again, please.
In fact, in comics, anytime he does laugh, it
Yeah.
freaks everybody out.
Yeah.
But
we want dark. It's DC.
Superman.
Yeah.
Like, I always made jokes, like, why is Superman's parents so hard on him, man?
Yeah.
Dude, I felt bad for him.
Yeah.
But then I realized that's what makes him Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And then, just to see that, I wish I would have been able to see that. But they basically, Zack said he had to step away because his daughter committed suicide.
Which is a legit reason, and fine. You can't argue that.
But you know, the internet trolls kind of were like, that really isn't the reason. It's part of the reason. The real reason is that when he released his cut, it was so dark that Warner Bros. Was afraid it was going to fail like BVS. And I didn't understand how they quantified BVS as a failure. Didn't it make like $1 billion?
Yeah, it was a huge movie. Again,
Dude, it made $1 billion, and you call that a failure because some guys on the internet didn't like the fact that what changed Batman's mind when he was going to off Superman.
That's the big one. Yeah, they talk about trolling.
He was going to off him. He had him dead to rights.
Yes.
He had the kryptonite spear.
Yeah, right there.
Which anyone knows, and every writer who I've heard talk about what jobs they would not take in the comic book world, one of them is Superman. Because they're like, you can't take Superman because he's the most powerful, but he has the most
biggest weakness,
which is kryptonite.
Yeah.
You just make a kryptonite bullet. That's it.
Yeah.
That's essentially what Batman did. He's like, I'm just going to make a kryptonite spear.
Well, and that's so true to the character of Batman in the Justice League, is he's the one that's in place. If
knows
if
all
Superman,
the weaknesses.
Yeah, he knows everybody's weaknesses.
He's
and
the
that's
greatest
his thing.
detective.
Yeah, that's the idea. And you got to kind of get back to that a little bit. Sometimes they forget that in these movies.
Yeah.
They make him vigilante.
He
is, but he's a detective.
And
Get back to that.
Affleck did the best job of pulling off Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Yeah.
Now, forget the fact
They actually, I saw a ranking recently of all the Batman ever.
Okay.
And they say, not the best movie, but the one who played it the truest. You knew who came out on top?
Affleck. He's 6'4". He got
Huge.
super jacked for that role.
Oh, yeah.
And when he was whooping up on Henry Cavill, who, mind you, is not a little dude in his own right.
No, he's not.
He gave it to him, and you kind of believed that he was landing those punches and he was taking those shots.
It was well done.
I mean, he had to put on that bat armor to absorb it, but you saw the damage that it was taking. And you know, Superman kind of pulled up a few times because you know he could have just punched a hole right through him.
Yeah.
But we all know that he still has in the back of his mind his upbringing that his dad told him. You know, he still has that hanging over him. He's still not Superman as we know him. He hasn't become that yet.
And he hasn't had to either, to be fair.
No, he hasn't. Affleck grabs him by the hair and rips him down the hallway and flings him into a column. And then gets the spear and is going to off him, and he's basically saying, if you kill me, I won't be able to get to Martha. Of course, we all know Bruce Wayne's not all up there.
No.
He hears Martha. He thinks of his own mom.
Yeah.
This whole time he's been thinking of Superman as being an alien with no parents, no family.
No ties, no humanity.
No humanity.
Yeah, just a super being.
It's
a
at
god.
that moment that he realizes that he's the one in the wrong. So he kind of redeems himself in that moment.
Which is, again, it's cheesy, but it's the true moment where you see the connection. It's not just about the name, and that's what the trolls would have.
Yeah, the trolls were like, "Oh, it's because of Martha. Oh, Martha, Martha."
Yeah,
and that's
but
where
you
all
know
the jokes
what?
came out.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Is that they're both human, even if they're not both human. And you see the conflict, even in the Man of Steel, is into BVS, is that Superman is dealing with the issue of being a god. I mean, that's the thing.
He could wipe out all life on the planet if he really wanted to.
He could do it.
He could have done it.
He could have, and it's that control that he has. And
And-
it's Batman saying, oh, he has control. He's one of the good guys.
He has a mother.
Yeah.
He's doing this for...
He's doing this for the same reasons I am, just in a different way. And I was wrong. And you know what? Yeah, that can happen in a minute. That can happen in an
And you look
instant.
at how they called him Mad Fleck.
Mm-hmm.
He was basically mad the entire time. He's reading the newspaper. He's angry. He's watching
Which was
TV.
some great
he's
acting.
angry.
Yeah, he's there a lot of anger, but he did it
nailed
well.
it.
Oh, it was great.
And then Sad Fleck.
Oh.
Thank you, Internet, for giving us Sad Fleck.
Oh, that's so sad. It was sad. The poor guy.
He's on
sitting
that.
there.
He's sitting
The
on
interview,
the couch.
Yeah.
I don't know who's giving the interview, but
I don't
he's on there with
remember,
Henry
but I've
Cavill.
seen- yeah.
And it was just after it was released to the critics. Who basically
Just destroyed it.
released the fact that it was all because of Martha that he doesn't kill Superman.
Yeah, and just destroys the whole point of the movie. but
Destroys
whatever.
the point of the movie, so everyone went in there thinking this, right?
Right.
And I'm watching that interview and I see the expression on his face, and the guy asked him, he's like, even though you guys gave like star-studded performances, what do you think about like the vitriol about the script? And there's Affleck. He has nothing to say. He's like, dude, I gave you guys the best Batman on film to date.
And he was not wrong. It's still provable. There's still people out there. They're doing polls.
He did better than
is.
Michael Keaton because Michael Keaton couldn't pull off Batman. He did a good Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
But he couldn't pull off Batman.
No, couldn't do it.
Then after him was Val Kilmer.
It was just weird.
It was kind of like a one and done thing.
Yeah. It was okay.
It was like,
kind of weird.
yeah, he has all the right dimensions and everything. He was like 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
He was big, good looking, so you kind of could see
Saw
that.
it, but Val Kilmer is just one of those guys who never can play the straight hero or anti-hero. He's just kind of too quirky. It's not his type of character. Just as an actor, not even as, whatever. But
And then after that, it was George Clooney.
which, again, not really Batman.
He was. It was.
And
like,
those were just ridiculous movies.
And he didn't even get top billing.
No, who did?
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger. 'Cause that was a good Mr. As ridiculous as those movies. You know who I love from those movies? My favorite?
Poison Ivy?
Riddler.
Really?
I really did like the Jim Carrey Riddler.
Okay.
He was good as the Riddler. That was a good fit for characters.
Now, I just,
But those are almost unwatchable. I haven't seen them again.
I watched Affleck, and then,
yeah.
the internet trolls just pounded on Zach mercilessly.
And they depend on him, too. And I think,
And then,
Ben went the stories came out that Ben went back to rehab.
Yeah, he was drinking. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone ever read up on this, but apparently the pressure got to him because he was...
No, it's a point,
he did a passion project called Live by Night that he started and directed and wrote.
Mm.
So that was going to be his follow-up to Argo and Gone Baby Gone.
Right.
Like he's been
Those are good movies. Yeah.
This was going to be his next one, his third one. So Warner Brothers, he was like, I'll do Batman, but you got to do this for me. And they were like, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
But then when all this internet trolling happened, they basically said, look, you're going to have to step it up. And we're going to need you to like come up with the Batman script. And start filming it right away. And directing it.
Dude, that's a lot for anybody.
Glug, 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 glug.
Poor dude.
Sorry,
I'm
but
not
trying to be insensitive, but that's what happened.
That's literally what happened to the poor guy. And he's off in rehab now. And he's like, I
can't get
do this.
insured by anybody.
No.
So then they start filming Justice League, and he's trying to do these other things. He's trying to get this other film out, which didn't do well at all, apparently. The critics chewed it up and spit it out. 1920s Prohibition movie out of Tampa.
And it sucks. It sucks.
It sucks. And then he's like, they're still giving me shit about Batman. And I liked him.
Yeah.
I liked him as Batman.
I think he was good. I think he would be good in the Batman. But I think they're completely
he's done.
Yeah.
He's done. After Justice League came out, which the trolls hammered again.
Yeah. And again, unfortunately, I don't completely agree with the trolls, but there was so much they could have done better with that movie. And I think a big part of it,
here's what happened. The trolls said, oh my gosh, Joss Whedon's in it. It's going to be 1,000 times better now.
And Joss Whedon did
Joss Whedon was like, I can only do so much with this.
Yeah.
Let's do some reshoots. Let's do some rewriting here. I'm going to add my own touches here.
And that's it.
Which
package
the
it up and
trolls
hope for the best.
Didn't really like.
No, they didn't like it after.
They didn't like the Russian family. They were like, what's the point of the Russian family?
Whatever.
Well, we think they're Russian.
Yeah. I think that the biggest thing is, in that movie, and I don't know, my biggest thing is I think they didn't do enough with the backstories of the characters. They threw them all together. You only really knew, if you're not someone who's ever watched or read anything and never watched WB,
that movie, Justice League, was not written for the person walking off the street and doesn't know Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Because Wonder Woman came out, directed by Patty Jenkins, and it was written by some other people, too.
And it destroyed. It was fantastic.
It was fantastic, and that's Zach's vision of Wonder Woman. Because she made her first appearance in BVS.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, you're going to give us that? Because literally, when she appeared on screen, the entire theater erupted into applause.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she came out and all you saw was the two bracelets.
Yeah.
Amazing scene. And then that, whatever score that was.
Oh, yeah. That is... If they were to do the Marvel thing and have an Avengers, the Justice League, that's their theme.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. It was like... That's Avengers-esque. I think they just literally swiped the general feel from the Avengers movies and made their own version. Fine. I'm good with that. Keep it. But with the Justice League and the Justice League versions, I think it was almost too campy.
For me, had they gone with the big three, which they did, they went with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. That's the Trinity for Justice League in the DC Universe. To see them up on the big screen was amazing. You gave me Flash. Internet trolls hated the Flash. They hated Ezra because they wanted Grant.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the reason. He wasn't a bad Flash. I'm not in love with him, but he wasn't as bad as the trolls made him out to be. He really wasn't. And if he gets his own movie, maybe people will like him more, but I don't think it's ever going to happen now.
I don't think we'll see a standalone Flash movie.
Yeah, unfortunately. I don't know. I don't see it.
And everyone says, give us Flashpoint, give us Flashpoint. Well, they've already done Flashpoint in cartoon.
Yeah, they're not going to do it.
And it was amazing,
Yeah.
and why ruin that?
Yeah, why rebuild something? You'd have to do a different story.
The TV show on the CW did Flashpoint in one episode.
Yeah. Yeah, 30 minutes. It's not going to be. You can't stretch that out to a movie. Sorry, it's been done.
It's done.
You can't do it.
So somebody also said, "Well, why Cyborg?" And I was like, "Well,
he was in there at one point. I mean, I'm not sure why
he
they
wasn't
chose
an
him.
original member."
No, he was later on.
I wanted Green Lantern.
We all wanted Green Lantern.
We wanted the Green Lantern. Thanks to the internet trolls on the last Green Lantern flick with Ryan Reynolds, who admits it wasn't his best.
It wasn't as bad as people say it was. But if you've got nothing to go on for Green Lantern, and that's what you got, it's not the worst movie in the world. It just isn't. It's not great, but it's not bad.
No, it's watchable.
It's watchable. Yeah.
I think I got it for $2.
Yeah.
You know, out of
I mean, the suit
out
was
of $2.
the suit was pretty sweet, even though it was kind of
animated.
ridiculous. Yeah, it was funny, but it was kind of funny.
But
you know,
it's Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I mean, really, do we have to be that serious about it?
Oh, yeah.
It's a ridiculous theory. It's a ridiculous storyline when you think about it.
Yeah.
Aliens give us a test pilot a ring that essentially will anything that he wishes or will come to life.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Yeah.
So they couldn't do Green Lantern because of the backlash from the trolls. They give us Cyborg, who is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Ray Fisher, who's a great actor.
Oh, he's a great actor, but I kind of felt neutral on him. I was like, okay, he's just kind of there.
I mean, they had, and the thing was that it couldn't even follow Zack's vision because apparently Zack wanted this Justice League to be dark,
which would have been fantastic.
Essentially, like it would have ended very similar to Empire Strikes Back, where the good guys get their butts handed to them,
or the end of Infinity Wars, if you're really going to follow the Marvel style.
Infinity Wars. Butts got handed to the good guys.
And again, make it dark. Give me the dark.
And then you have the opportunity for a sequel, but instead they decided to
cut it
and make it a happy ending.
And basically.
But I was okay because like when I saw
bad ending.
When I saw Henry Cavill like come in and basically say his line, "I'm into justice also," and Steppenwolf turns around and there's Big Blue in the uniform, you know what I mean? Even though everyone wanted him to be in the black and silver,
yeah,
and he's there in the Big Blue uniform, and he basically takes it to Steppenwolf. That was kind of cool, and they had the music.
Yes. Yeah. So it was good, but again, it's a lot of drama. I mean, now the whole thing about who's Superman. Get him around to the Superman. Who's going to be the new Superman now? And he's like, I'm always Superman, and no, I'm not Superman. And yes, I am. It gets to a point with the trolling that it really becomes an issue of, is the trolling and the
I think it's hurt
emotions,
movies. The past 10 years, I think, had the studios just stuck with the directors.
Yeah. Stick with the people who've given you the money, given you the business, trust their vision, and let them fly with it. It's a problem, it really boils down to a problem that they don't trust superhero movies to do well. They don't understand the genre.
Well, when they hear superhero, they automatically think $1 billion.
Yeah.
They automatically think of the $40 million opening night.
Yeah, which is not how it goes with all movies. No. It just depends. Like, again, Green Lantern, it was not a box office success, but people do still watch it. Mm-hmm. Your residuals, you got to look big picture with these types of films. Well, people will go back to them.
Yeah, I mean...
It's like the original trilogy. Star Wars, the secondary... Well, the original prequels,
the prequels.
People go back to them, and different generations will go back to them.
That's what's big now. People are now coming out and saying, "Hey, I was a kid when these things were released, so I didn't have a voice. Now that I'm an adult,
I like these, and these were good. These were my childhood, and they were for them. They weren't for our old timers. It's like the shaking of the hands with the new ones. It's a turning over to a new generation.
That's what I saw in this latest Star Wars Episode 8. It was kind of like, Luke has to move on. Yeah. You have to let like Rey and Kylo, or Ben is whatever you want to refer to him. You have to let these new characters move on.
Yeah.
Finn.
Yeah.
Poe.
Solid characters. Yeah. Solid relationships, solid acting. It's in the Star Wars tradition. And of course,
in Solo, they give us Darth Maul.
Which again
who's
ties
the big bad.
Yeah. And again, we knew that if we really understood and watched Rebels or anything else. And we know that's there.
We know the reason for the fuel shortage is that Maul is the big bad, and everyone thinks that he's in charge. He's really not in charge.
Right.
We all know it's the Emperor.
But you have to follow stories and be into that, and it gets like a lot if you aren't into it. So again, internet trolling definitely has destroyed
over the
careers.
last 10 years.
It's
Think
gotten
about it. 10
really
years.
It's not that long a period of
If
time.
you can't, there's no way to sway the internet your way on anything that you may like, and
No.
it could even be wonderful.
Yeah. Just remember, find the people that believe like you do, and you will be okay. Don't worry about trolls, because at the end of the day, it's really about what you enjoy.
Yeah.
It's not about everybody else.
Yeah.
It's a message of hope and love from the two nerds.
From the two nerds.
Yes. So,
No, we're behind you guys.
Yes. We're here to love what you love. That's why we're nerds.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we love the fact that you love us, and we hope you do. If you do love us, like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And
Instagram.
Please, Instagram's blowing up right now for us, so thank you guys.
Thank
we appreciate it.
Instagram.
Yes, very good stuff. And, of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Where you can watch more awesome like this.
Yes.
And you can waste your afternoon just like we
Shoot
do.
us what your thoughts are.
Yes.
We'll respond back. We have
do
eyes on
respond.
it 24 hours a day.
Yes, we do
have
respond.
we have a staff.
Of me?
You.
Yeah, I'm the staff.
Him.
I'm the staff. So yeah, email us, twonerdsAjoke@gmail.com. You can always reach out to us, tag us, or comment on anything. We usually do reply to almost all, just because we have a lot of viewers, but not that many, so
And we have a lot
can't
of
actually
spare
keep
time.
up. And we do. We have a lot of spare time. So we do follow. So if you see a topic or a concept or something you want to see us talk about, make fun of, or whatever else it might be, reach out. We're here for you guys. We'd love to entertain you with what you want. And unlike the major movie companies, we'll actually listen. And make it happen.
We'll make it happen.
Yes, sir. All right. If you will, Ernie.
Peace out.
Peace out, everybody.
That's another episode of Two Nerds and a Joke. And those are minutes of your life that you'll never get back. And if you're looking to waste even more of your time on these two, check them out and follow them on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe to the YouTube channel.